Hello Libra, welcome back to my channel. This is Skeleton Key Tarot and this is a tarot card reading for Libra. All Libra placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Wherever you've got Libra in your chart or in your life, there's something in this message for you. And as always, cross watchers are welcome here too. So let's begin. Messages for Libra, please. What does Libra need to know? Okay, we'll get the underlying energy, we'll get the overall message, we'll see what's at the bottom of the deck. But before we get into reading the cards, I felt guided to mention that it is getting warmer in the Northern Hemisphere. I live in Maine and it's finally starting to get warm out here. It's starting to feel really good. I don't need to light a stove as much, and I was spending a lot of time outdoors yesterday and today this morning. I found a mushroom. I found a bright red mushroom growing out of the stump of an old tree, and it was so beautiful, so vivid, so bright. And I thought to mention it to you. I was told to mention it to you. So I am currently learning about how to identify mushrooms in the forest. I have this, I got this for Christmas, National Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Mushrooms. And I feel like this is such a worthwhile activity. I go out in the forest, you know, I'm getting some exercise, some movement, you know what I mean? I prefer to call it movement, outdoors, getting some fresh air. It's such a nice way to just have something to do while I'm also moving around outside, spending time in nature, and I'm getting to know Mother Earth. I'm getting to know the plants and fungus now. So I think what Spirit was guiding me to talk about with you, Libra, is that perhaps this would be a worthwhile activity for you as well, learning different flowers out in nature that grow in your area, learning different wildlife or different plants or different mushrooms or something is a really great way to get in touch with earth magic energy. So for me, it's mushrooms. I want to know all the different mushrooms in my forest where I live. I want to be able to look at them and say, oh, that bright red mushroom that I found yesterday, it turns out it is a polypore. I didn't know what that was. A stemmed polypore. And that means if I understand this correctly, it means the spores of the mushroom come out from underneath these pores instead of like gills or something. Like I said, I'm still learning, but I was like guided, like I meditate and connect with the energy of the reading before each time I turn on the camera, and lately I've been getting a lot of downloads and a lot of like stream of consciousness coming to me, and this is what I felt like I needed to mention to you. Like this could be something you could be encouraged to get in touch with the earth and learn to identify plants, mushrooms, birds, whatever, you know, whatever is interesting to you. If that's something that's interesting to you, maybe you already know this, maybe you already have this knowledge and this is going to speak to you somehow. I'm not sure. I'm always so impressed by the comment section because sometimes I mention things that I don't even know how this could possibly be significant to anybody, but then it becomes like important, like, oh, maybe you and your partner were learning this together. Maybe you just went for a hike in the forest and you learned something about mushrooms too, and then this is acting as like a clarifier or confirmation for you. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing in this reading for you if you're like, what are you talking about? I mean, maybe it does, but you know what I mean? There's still, we're going to get to the cards now, okay? So we do have, yeah, so there still could be a message in the cards for you, even if you have nothing to do with mushrooms and you're not interested in learning about nature. But I do feel like for some of you, you would have a very powerful connection to earth magic. In fact, I have a book called Earth Magic, and I feel like doing some bibliomancy. So let's get one card for the overall energy here. Nine of Pentacles, earth magic, Bottom of the deck, the Hermit, more Virgo energy, and then Taurus underneath, which is more earth energy. And then we had the Eight of Wands wanted to come out, King of Pentacles. We're talking about earth magic. I feel it. I also feel with the Page of Pentacles here, with the Ace of Wands, Ten of Wands, you're closing out a cycle, beginning something new. It's very exciting. You're learning something new. And it could be, yes, it could be finances. Yes, it could be health, you know, like nutrition or movement. But it could also be reading a book. Like, you could be getting really excited, and this is somehow liberating for you. This is getting you out of a stuck place. Like, if you've been feeling stuck in your life and you're bored and you don't know what to do, it's like maybe a new hobby with your free time here, something you do by yourself, could help to raise your spirits and raise your vibration so that, you know, actually I see a lot of very peaceful energy here. I see that you are really enjoying yourself right now, whatever you're doing, or this is what's coming to you. You're manifesting. If you're not there already, this is what you're manifesting. You're really very much a peaceful, loving person. You are at peace within yourself, in your mind. You have, like, you've made peace with the past here. You have a romantic connection that you're fantasizing about. You are looking forward to the future. Things are picking up for you. You've been spending time alone. There's Capricorn. There's Capricorn as well. A lot of earth energy here. So the Devil here, I feel like you've been releasing any like unhealthy connections, attachments, habits, obsessions. Yeah, a lot of earth magic here. So I really want to get that earth magic book and do a little bibliomancy for you. Okay, let me see. So this is Earth Magic, a Dianic Book of Shadows by Marian Weinstein, and we're just going to open it up and see. So let's see. Okay, so it says here, it's page 77. I just opened up to random. It can be difficult to measure or even describe the effects of such work. We can say it improves the soul or even speeds up the evolution of the soul, right? Doing earth magic, it improves the soul, it grounding, it makes you happier, makes you a better person, whatever. And then we have the picking up the speed of the evolution of the soul is the Eight of Wands here. That's what it feels like. But then we realize that the soul in all time is already so highly evolved that it is by definition perfect. We also realize that the idea of speeding up the evolutionary process of the soul is actually an illusion, because the future coexists with the present simultaneously, not to mention with the past as well. So there is no need to speed up anything. Meditate or think about this information so far, and you can see that the very contemplation of such ideas is actually incredibly liberating and provides us with glimpses of infinite possibilities for growth and experience, for growth, for experience, and for nourishment. So this is truly Celine's domain. The English language as we know it in this one lifetime may be limiting in describing these concepts, but experiencing this work or even considering the possibility of such experience transcends any need for description. So that is so High Priestess, Celine, goddess of the moon, Diana, you know. So what we're talking about here is perhaps there are limitations in the English language when we are describing earth magic and the work that we do in conjunction with our own soul, with source spirit energy. Maybe our soul and our connection is already pure. It's already highly evolved. It's that ego represented often by the devil here. And maybe that's that 10 of Wands we've been carrying around that's getting in our way of recognizing the perfection of the soul. Contemplating that may be very liberating for us. Yeah. So that's why it may be difficult to measure the effects of spiritual work and earth magic, because maybe we can say it improves the soul or speeds up the evolution of the soul, but perhaps what it's really doing is improving the ego. And speeding up the evolution of the personality of the ego, which is an important thing. I mean, we need our ego to interface with society. Do you have a job? Do you have a family? Do you have things that you do? You know what I mean? You have a personality. It's not, here's what I think. And this may be one branch of spiritual teaching. Maybe this is like Confucianism, where we're in harmony with society or something like that, rather than Taoism, which is harmony with nature. But maybe it's both, right? Earth magic might be harmony with nature, which would be closer to Taoism. But then what do we do with society? We need some kind of an interface. We have to have a personality. We have to have some kind of way that we deal with other people, and that would be our ego, right? Let me know in the comments if you agree. This is how I'm trying to understand it through these conversations with you all. And that's why I love this, by the way. I love this so much, because this is so important for me, as well as anybody else who resonates with this work. So maybe it's like evolution of the ego, evolution of the personality in this lifetime that gets us closer to the soul and gets us closer to our spiritual purpose and our highest self, so that our ego is not getting in our way and we're not trapped in the ego. We don't really identify with the ego. We see it as a tool that we can use to get along in society, to get ahead in our job or whatever we need to do, whatever our life's mission, purpose, work is on this plane, but we don't identify with it. And because we don't identify with it, we can identify with the soul. And the soul or spirit or connection to source is already pure. It's already highly evolved. So that when we identify with that, then our identity takes on the characteristics of that spiritual, highly evolved soul, right? Something like that. Wow. So you may want to meditate on the information already given and not go any further, not to bring it into practice, which is fine. If you just want to meditate on earth magic, which I see you here with the Hermit, this Four of Swords, like there is a very contemplative energy here. This is meditating on this, and I do feel like something is being put into practice. But perhaps right now it's all about the introspection. It's all about the meditation, meditating on your spiritual beliefs. But there is the Three of Pentacles. So putting it into practice is obviously very important. Collaborating with others. This is what we're talking about. The ego here in collaboration with others. And then the Star. So we have an ego that reflects our clear connection to spirit. That's what I'm getting off of this. Is like your spiritual practice, Libra, whoever I'm connecting to, it's like this is giving your ego some kind of spiritual purity so that you are finding a good balance. I'm getting a chill. So your spiritual practice is leading you to be a better person. That's great. That's confirmation if you needed it. You're becoming a much better version of yourself. You're becoming a much more whole and complete and healthier version of yourself spiritually, like on the inside, through your magic, through your earth magic, through your connection with spirit and the soul. It's like as above, so below, right? So you are bringing that down into everything that you do and raising everything up into that connection. Something like that. It's like I'm seeing the Magician card in my head right now, and you know how he holds up the baton and like brings that down to earth, manifesting, bringing spirit down to earth and putting it into everything that he does. So we've got Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, especially Virgo. We've got Libra, which is Jupiter in Libra, and we've got Mercury in Sagittarius. There's like a real increase in your inner peace, making peace with the past, especially. We've got Capricorn here twice, so there's a lot of Capricorn and Virgo, a lot of Sagittarius and Aquarius as here, as well as Venus and Scorpio. So I just feel like this is really actually profound, but it's also kind of grounded and unassuming. Like you are contemplating what really matters to you and really redefining or defining for the first time your own personal values. And this is so liberating for you. It is liberating for you to Contemplate the fact that your spirit is already perfect. Your connection to the source energy is already perfect. It's just your ego that sometimes gets in the way and casts a shadow. So what is the shadow? It is not the absence of light, right? Because here's what I'm thinking. The light never goes out. That ever shining light never goes out. But sometimes we turn our backs to it, or sometimes there's an obstacle in the way. And it's when there's an obstacle in the way of the light that the shadow gets cast. Or it's when we turn our backs to the light that we are looking into the shadow, okay? So the light never goes out. There's just kind of an obstacle, or we've turned our back. So thinking about it that way, spiritually, it's like, how is this liberating for us? So it looks like to me you are coming to the end of, we've got the 10 of Wands, the Ace of Wands. This is really exciting. You're picking up something new. You're doing something new with your spare time, your free time. And actually, this is very healthy for you. It's something you're learning how to do, a new hobby, a new interest, a new job even, but you're starting at the beginning here. You may be taking a course or a class, reading a book that is teaching you something, and I see it being really, really good for your career or your health, your finances, your pentacles. Okay, cool. Ace of Cups. Wow, Two of Wands. Ace of Cups. So when you are releasing yourself and liberating yourself from this false ego, which is not your true self, it's not your highest self, you liberate yourself from identifying with that part of you. You are determined. You are having a vision of the future. Okay, you're seeing through this illusion. You see that the light has not gone off. You've simply either turned your back or there's an obstacle. And now you overcome that. You master your life with the vision and the energy, looking forward to the future with these plans. You have so much potential. The world is in the world's in your hands here. You're directing your gaze towards new love, new spiritual love, new physical, emotional love, and regeneration, rejuvenation, and healing. Temperance, there's that healing. So it's like you're setting yourself up for success, being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing in order to take this opportunity when it comes to you, to recognize and receive when this opportunity comes to you. Yeah, King of Pentacles here, more earth sign energy. I feel like you're going to be hearing from this person. There's a communication incoming. They want to work with you. They want to collaborate with you. They share practical guidance, or they have pragmatic ideas. They have a very almost like materialistic, but very pragmatic, practical approach to life. And this is something that I think you may have in common with them, especially if you have earth sign placements, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This may even be a new job, new collaboration. You're going to gain a lot of money from this. It's a lot of financial independence, maybe even luxury, leisure, free time, hobbies, whatever kind of money you've been making, you're going to be increasing on top of that. I just heard threefold. So times 3. And let's see, we've got, 8 to 10 days here, 4 weeks, 6 months, 3 years. So communication coming in this week, 8 to 10 days, something like that. Learning something new within the next 10 days. It's like you get some kind of information this week, okay? You contemplate that information, and then like 2 days later, you really get it. You really understand. Like you need to do a little research. Oh, I just got to chill. It's like you get an invitation, or you get a new job, or you get an opportunity this week. Take like 2 days to think it through. Hopefully you have like 2 business days, or you have 48 hours to you need to do some research. There's something you need to look it up, or there's something you need to read. There may be documents, right? Like take a couple days to meditate on that, contemplate it, before you sign the dotted line. Take a couple days, maybe get some guidance, like a lawyer or a second opinion, or I don't know, something like that. For some of you, that may be something that you're already doing. And then by the end of the month, things will have been agreed to. You come to some kind of contract. The contract is enacted in a month. right? It's like, okay, you're looking at, this is just an example, analogy, case study. Doesn't have to be literally, it's figurative, but maybe it's literal, so take it as it resonates for you. But it's like this. Okay, you're looking for a place to live. You're looking for a new place to live. You find a place this week. You fill out the application, and 2 days later, you know, after you really think about it or something, you maybe like 2 days later, you give them back the application, or you get the response that you're in, and now you're in. Like, what am I trying to say? Sometime this week, you fill out the application. 2 days later, it goes through. By the end of the month, 1 month later after that, you are moving into your new place, and you're going to be there for like 3 to 9 years in this one place. Or the next 3 years, you're going to live there, right? And then this sets you up for a 9-year cycle of abundance. Whether you stay there longer than 3 years or not, you may move up in the next, you know, after 3 years, you might even find a better place. But like 3 years, you're in this place, you're working on it. It sets you up for 9 years of abundance. So 3 times 3, you know, like I said, it's times 3. And then, okay, so you move in after a month. 6 months into it, you really love the place. It starts to feel like home. You stay for 3 years. It sets you up for 9 years of abundance. It's something kind of like that, you know? You get the new job. It takes like 6 months for you to really master the skill, master your craft, master your new position. You're an apprentice at first. You have 6 months to like get good. You pull it off. It sets you up, you know, you're there in that position for 3 years, and then like 9 years. And it's long term. This is something we're talking about. It's like 9 years of abundance and success, and like it feels really good, and you do a really good job. But I think this is the end of like a 10-year difficult cycle, or 10 weeks or 10 months, 10 days. Like there is something tough about this where you felt like you couldn't move. You couldn't do what you needed to do, but suddenly, bam, you're like, it's over, it's done, we're moving, like rocket ship forward. Like you had to be pulled back like an arrow. Okay, you pull back the bow and arrow, and there's all that tension, right? And then it release, and it shoots forward. That's what I'm seeing. But it's like contemplating this long-term commitment here, and not letting your ego get in the way, or having like a very clear, it's like making your ego work for you rather than against you. Having a very clear connection to source, so that your ego always reflects that spiritual light energy, right? It reflects that connection, so that, you know, like we were reading in Earth Magic, your soul, your spirit, your connection is pure. And so getting your ego in alignment with that connection that you already have, you always have that connection. That connection is never, ever severed, okay? But sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes there's an obstacle. Sometimes we're not looking at it. Bringing our ego, bringing our identity into alignment with it, that is the message here today. You are successfully doing that. That involves making peace within yourself, making peace with the past. And if you're in a relationship, it's very harmonious. You have a very peaceful, harmonious love life here as well. And it all's very supportive. It is all very supportive of your work and what you're trying to do here, which I feel like it's important. Anything else? No, that's the message. Okay, so we're going to just we've got the wild unknown. Let me look at the clock. It says 2346. So 23 times 2 is 46. So there's synchronicity there. 2, 3, 4, 6. What does that add up to? 10 plus 5 is 15, which is Capricorn, the devil. Which 1 plus 5 is 6, which is the lovers. There's partnership, there's decisions, there are, I feel like the devil in this case, it does represent certain negative attachments. It can. I just get the sense that like it's talking more about not allowing other people to demonize you, not demonizing yourself, and being very powerful and very creative, and Nothing holds you back from getting what you want and getting what you need and doing what you have to do. I feel like today we're talking about liberation. You're being liberated from that. But I don't want to force it. So, 15, Capricorn, the devil, something very serious. Somebody has Capricorn ascendant, Capricorn rising in their chart maybe, or Mars in Capricorn. It just makes them very serious and a very reliable hard worker, very responsible. So we're talking about your contracts, your responsibilities, your work ethic. Like, even if you have doubts, you see gradual progress. It's proven to you. The proof is in the pudding. Actions speak louder than words. You can prove it. There's something here about proving it. I don't know. It's important. Someone's going to prove it to you. You're going to prove yourself. Like, you have what it takes. You absolutely have what it takes. Yes. And you're getting there for sure. I feel like maybe for some of you, what we're talking about is making peace with past tragedies or past, perhaps in a relationship in the past, you had a negative attachment and it was unhealthy. We call it negative because it was not supporting you and your growth, and it was dragging you into conflict and, darkness or whatever. But you're becoming liberated from that by making peace with it. And now you're no longer identifying with that. You're no longer held back by that. Okay, here we go. Wow. Apocalypsis. Look at this. This is so intense. So this card is going to confirm, clarify, and close out the reading. We're going to read from the book. I don't have it memorized yet, so we're going to learn it together. I love this deck, though, because it gives such good spiritual growth messages, and that's what this is all about, is getting confirmation, clarity, and a closing message. So if that sounds good to you, let's read it together. It's number 74, Apocalypsis. It feels big. It feels kind of big, but we'll see. Wow. Removing the veil of deception. Perfect. That's what we're trying to talk about with the devil. It's like you're removing these attachments. You're removing the falsehood. You're removing the veil of deception. You're seeing clearly. You've got a clear connection with spirit. You're an open channel for source energy, and you're bringing that into your life. Wow. Doesn't that just really go with what we were trying to say? But see, that's why I love this deck, is because we're all still here on a journey. We're all still learning, and me too. And I just feel like I'm learning so much from this deck, and it's really helping me to articulate. And that's what we were saying before with the earth magic. It's like the English language is so limiting, and it's hard for us to describe these experiences sometimes and to articulate exactly what we mean. But that's the challenge, and we're up for it. So let's just read. Let's read from the book. Removing the veil of deception. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, one that unfolds when two disparate dynamics occur simultaneously. So it's like two different things happening at once. That's like the devil. That's why we saw those numbers 2, 3, 4, and 6, and we added it up, and it was 15, and it was trying to bring us back to this, to talk about it. So there's two different okay. So it's like these two dynamics are happening simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposite directions. The first is a lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen, and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief follows. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of a revealed truth. We felt that regeneration energy here with that Ace of Cups, didn't we? Yeah. And then I just saw the Seven of Pentacles too. So perhaps there was some kind of grief or failure that was in the past. The old narrative breaks and the new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to a forest fire. Devastation for the sake of regeneration. So it's like purification by fire. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. That kind of is reminding me of the Ten of Wands to the Ace of Wands too. It's the end and the beginning. You learn something new. It's like a forest fire. Regeneration. Purification by fire. The veil is lifted and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of the truth, a child is born. Have faith in the process. Hold on to your center. It is the only way. When it's light, it represents the unknown becoming known and guiding the way. So the unknown becomes known and guides the way. When it's dark, it's nihilism, fatalism, and helplessness or hopelessness. That could be like the devil. If you'd like to go deeper, you can look into Michael Mead's Why the World Doesn't Exist and the movie This Is the End. All kinds of things will be revealed during a time of apocalypsis, from big global lies to little white ones that lace the bedroom sheets. Brace yourself for the horse of truth to storm your energy field. That's giving like 8 of Wands here. There's communication. Something that I think that you should take your time to think it through and contemplate, okay? This card has a strong relationship to Aletheia. If both cards appear in one reading, you've got some real uncovering to do. Take heed. Okay, be careful with that. So there's a need for caution, truths being revealed, purification by fire. And yeah, how does that relate to everything we've been talking about? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I like it anyway. It's like figuring out what you really value and who you really are and how to bring that into alignment for the best and highest good of yourself and all involved. And really spending some time in nature and doing some earth magic as well. Those things, I think it's all related somehow or another. Maybe this makes more sense to you than it does to me, or maybe this is one of those mysteries of the universe that we're being called to really contemplate and investigate and spend some time thinking about it or meditating on it. Maybe it's okay that we don't know. So we can just say, I don't know, but I'm open, spirit, to the truth. And on this journey, I feel I will get there eventually in divine timing, of course. Which I love divine timing because that's going to be my new excuse for everything. That's why I'm never actually late. Like, no, I'm not late for this meeting. Actually, everything happens in divine timing. So technically, I'm never late for anything. Anyway, okay, that's what I've got for you today, Libra. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was of service to you. If you enjoyed this and you'd like a personal reading, my email's in the description box below. You can email me. I'll let you know how it works. You let me know what you need. But in any case, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye!